Good morning to you all. My name remains Omolade, aka Milado Life. Today is our story telling the English version of it. And the story that we are about to tell is titled Agony of a Single Mom. Yes. Relax, get your popcorn, and let's get into it. The story is centered around a lady called Kelly. Yes. So, agony of a single mom. It was a hot Saturday afternoon. Kelly lay on her bed, indecisive, turned between going to get her toiletries or doing her laundries. She reluctantly went to the bathroom to take her bath. In the bathroom, she thought to herself, what do I put on? And she chose a lovely pink blouse with white trousers. She walked straight to her dressing table to cream her body and apply a light makeup. She was ready to go when she heard a knock on her door. It was her neighbor. She wanted to drop off her house key for her younger sister. A conversation broke out between them. That is between Kelly and her neighbor named Bella. Kelly said, "Good afternoon, Bella." Bella replied, "Afternoon, Kelly." Kelly asked, "What can I do for you?" Bella replied, "I want to drop the key of the house for my younger sister. I got an emergency call from my place of work that I have to be in Abuja by 4 p.m. today. My younger sister called earlier to inform me she will be coming to stay for a week because she has an interview." Kelly replied to her, "Oh, okay, let me have the keys, but I want to get my toiletries. Please give your younger sister my number in case she gets here before me." Bella was very thankful. She replied, "Thank you very much. Let me be on my way." Kelly, being a very nice person, she said to her, "Just a minute. I will drop you off where you can get a taxi to the airport." Bella replied, "Thank you." They both walked to where the car was parked. Kelly opened her trunk so that Bella can put her luggage in it. They got in the car and Kelly tried to start the car. She turned to Bella and said, "I don't know what is wrong with this car. It won't start." Bella told her, "Check the battery." Kelly got down to check the battery, but she didn't know what to do. She looked at Bella confused. She said, "I don't know what to do. I think we should walk to the bus stop. I will call my mechanic when I get back." Bella said, "The earlier the better." Suddenly, the weather changed and Kelly prayed silently that it would not rain. She got to the supermarket all happy that it didn't rain because she didn't want to get all wet. But nature had a big surprise waiting for her. Immediately she was ready to go, it started to rain. She stood there confused. She got a call from Bella's younger sister and a conversation started. She picked up her call and Bella's sister said, "Good afternoon, Kelly. It is me, Ruby, Bella's younger sister." Kelly replied, "Good afternoon, Ruby. I'm done with shopping, but it is raining here. Give me a few minutes for the rain to stop." Bella replied, "No problem. I will wait in the security post for you." Kelly said, "Great." Kelly looked around for someone who could help get her a taxi so that she could go home. She beckoned to the security man at the supermarket and she said, "Afternoon, please can you help me stop a taxi?" The security man said, "Okay, madam." Kelly replied, "Thank you." Kelly waited for 20 minutes and no sign of a taxi, and the rain had stopped. She thought to herself, "Let me take a bike home so that I will not keep Bella waiting." And suddenly she remembered she left her window open. Kelly said to herself, "I hope my room has not turned into a swimming pool. Let me hurry up. After all, I am not a sot. Even if it's raining, I'm going to leave and go see what is happening in my house." She walked as fast as she can, and a car drove past her and splashed her with dirty water, messing up her trouser. She stood there speechless with tears in her eyes. The guy realized what he did and turned his car around to meet her. A conversation between Kelly and the guy. The guy said, "Good afternoon." Kelly was really upset. She replied back to him, "What is good about this afternoon?" The guy said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't notice the potholes." And Kelly replied to him, "Sorry for yourself." The guy, being a gentleman, still went ahead to say, "Sorry, I messed up your clothes." Kelly replied, The guy said, "Can I drop you off at the nearest taxi park? I'm so sorry." For the first time in her life, she was quiet, which is unlike her. All Kelly could do was to nod her head and got into the car. The guy was quiet for a while. Then he said to Kelly, "Please don't be mad at me. My name is Jazz." Kelly turned and looked at him with a wicked eyes. And the guy started talking again and I said, "Please don't be mad at me. My name is Jazz." At this point, Kelly had no option other than to answer, and she said to him, "My name is Kelly." Jazz replied, "What a beautiful name." Kelly said, "Thank you." Jazz proceeded to tell Kelly more about himself, and he told her, "I am a pilot, what he likes and what he doesn't like." And he realized that he's been talking about himself. Then he turned to her and said, "Enough about me. Can you tell me about yourself, please?" Kelly reluctantly said, "Well, I am a doctor. I specialize in gynae and all that." She told him as much as she could and just looked at her and said, "You are a wonderful lady and I enjoyed your company." Kelly said, "Thank you." And just said, "Where exactly are you going to?" Kelly responded by saying, "I'm going home." Just said, "Where is home, if you don't mind? I would like to drop you off. That is the least I can do." Kelly gave a description to her place. Jazz said, I know that area. My brother stays off that street. Kelly said, good. I don't have to start giving you direction. And they kept on with their conversation. And they realized that they had things in common. And it made their journey to her place very interesting. When they got to Kelly's house, Jazz said, here you are, home sweet home. Kelly said, thanks for the ride. Jazz replied, my pleasure. Can I have your number, please? They both exchanged their phones and punched in their numbers. Jazz said, thank you. I will give you a call soon. Kelly replied, okay, thanks and bye. Jazz said, bye, and he drove off. Kelly was grateful and happy. She went to the compound smiling to herself. Kelly remembered that Ruby was waiting for her, and she tried to look around to see if Ruby was anywhere close. And she saw Ruby, and a conversation broke between them. Kelly said to Ruby, I'm back. So sorry I kept you waiting. Ruby said, no problem. I had my phone to keep me busy. Kelly replied, that is good. Ruby, looking at Kelly from head to toe, your cloth is all stained. Kelly replied, yes, oh, and she smiled. Now, long story, my sister. Kelly told Ruby, Ruby, here are your kids. Would you like to come inside? Ruby replied, no thanks. I need to study and prepare for my interview. Kelly said, okay, all the best. That evening, Kelly got a call from Jazz. Jazz, good evening. Kelly, good evening. Jazz, I can see there is something good about the evening. They both laughed. If you remember that when Jazz greeted her earlier, that good afternoon, Kelly responded by saying, what is good about the afternoon? So that was why both of them laughed when Jazz said, I can see there is something good about the evening. Jazz asked Kelly, what have you been doing? Kelly said, I did my laundry and I'm about making dinner. Jazz said, what is for dinner? Kelly replied, plantain and egg. Jazz said, yummy. That's my favorite. They chat for hours. Jazz made sure he called her every morning and night. They kept the conversation between them for like 3 months without seeing each other. They have become so close that they can't do without chatting in a day. One fateful day, Jazz called Kelly. Hello, beautiful. Kelly replied, hi, handsome. Jazz, what are you doing tomorrow evening? I would like to take you out for dinner. Kelly, that will really be nice. Well, I am free. Jazz asked, what time can I pick you up? Kelly replied, 6 p.m. will be okay. Jazz said, okay then, see you tomorrow. Kelly was happy. She tried as much as possible to hide her excitement. The next day, she went to the salon to get her hair and nails done. She was satisfied with her look. Kelly brought out 3 dresses from her wardrobe, a black, blue, and red dress. She tried the 3 on several times, and she could not make up her mind on what to wear. Eventually, Kelly said to herself, I think I will go with the black dress. It brings out my color and my curves. And she dressed up. While she was dressing, her phone rang. And guess who was on the line? It was Jazz. Jazz said, "Hello, I'm outside your gate." Kelly replied, "I will be out in a minute." Jazz said, "Okay." Kelly was looking very beautiful that Jazz couldn't take his eyes off her. He was taken by her beauty that he forgot that they had to leave. And Kelly said to him, "Hello, shall we?" Jazz, "I'm so sorry. You look so beautiful." Kelly replied, "Thank you. And you don't look so bad yourself." Jazz said, "Thank you." He opened the door for her and they drove off to a lovely restaurant. After the food, Jazz got into serious conversation with her. He stretched out his hands to touch hers and looked straight into her eyes and said, "Yes, you are a very intelligent and beautiful lady, and I admire you a lot. From the first day I met you, I knew there was something special about you. Kelly, darling, I want you to be my girlfriend. Someone who I can share my pain and joy with. The past 3 months has been the best of my life, which I will not trade for anything." Kelly was smiling. She was just blushing. She managed to find her words and she replied to him, "Yes, I would like to be your girlfriend. But wait, why did you wait this long to tell me?" And Jazz replied, "Thanks, dear. I wanted to be sure of my feelings because I don't want to start what I can't finish. You are a nice lady, and I don't want to start a relationship based on lust. I sat within me for what I really want." Kelly was amazed and she told him, "That is very thoughtful of you. If every man out there is this responsible, And they started this relationship and it was beautiful. After 1 year, Jazz was ready to take the relationship to the next level. So he invited her to his house. He made sure that the atmosphere was very romantic. Yes, that fateful day, he cleaned up everywhere, did a lot of beautiful decoration, prepared, he made sure he made the food himself because he really wants to impress her. There was a knock at the door. Jazz, "Who is there?" Kelly replied, "It's me, Kelly." Jazz said, "You are welcome, my lady." He told her to close her eyes and lead her to the dining table that was decorated with red roses. Kelly was impressed. They ate and drank. Jazz stood up to play Kelly best music and he knelt down. It's about to go down. Jazz looked into Kelly's eyes and said, "Kelly, my love, I want you to be the mother of my unborn child, the woman I wake up to see every morning. Please, will you marry me?" Kelly was super excited. She was happy. She said, "Yes, I will." He hugged her and kissed her passionately. Jazz decided to make a promise to Kelly. He said to her, "I promise to be responsible husband and father, to be there for you whenever you need me, to protect you and never allow the rain or sun to beat you, my darling." The next month, he took her to his parents. They like her very much. She did the same thing. Both parents came together to pick a date for the wedding. The wedding was a success, so they begin their journey of life together. They had 2 kids, and Kelly was pregnant for the 3rd child when tragedy struck. Oh my God. Jazz called out to Kelly. He said, Kelly, do you know that both parents will be on my flight? Kelly replied to him, seriously? I wish they can postpone their traveling and you can call in sick because I am having this strange feeling. Just looked at her. He was worried from what she said, but he had to hide his worries. He told her, not to worry, my love. Nothing bad will happen. Just keep praying for me. Kelly replied, I will, but honestly, I don't want you people to go on this trip. Just looked at her. Put your mind at rest. I've been flying for so many years and I've gathered a lot of experience. Kelly didn't want to push it and she didn't want to argue. She said, okay, I will just put you guys in my prayers. That night, he made love to her as if it was the last time they would ever be together again. It was 2 days to their 10th wedding anniversary. She was excited and planning a surprise for her husband. She was busy preparing to make it special. She had a knock at the door and she was surprised to see her siblings and in-laws. Kelly looked at both her in-laws and her sibling and she said, what a pleasant surprise. This one that you people came together. Hope you guys brought something nice for me. Nobody answered her. All they could do was nod their heads. Kelly turned towards her in-laws and she said, your brother is out of town. Funny enough, his pilot of the flight our parents took. How wonderful. Our in-laws and siblings looked at each other without knowing how to break the news to her. But somebody had to tell Kelly what is going on. Our in-laws decided to tell her. He said, Kelly dear, you have to be strong. God doesn't do things without a reason. Kelly looked at them and said, Uncle, what is the matter? Why are you telling me all this? Hope all is well. Our in-law moved closer to her and said to her, you didn't listen to the news or get any information on your phone? Kelly replied, no, I've been busy preparing for our wedding anniversary. Our in-laws sounded, I don't know how to break this news to you, but I just have to tell you, Jazz is no more. The plane crashed and everyone on it died. Kelly dropped the bowl that was in her hands and she said, I don't understand. Can you explain yourself? Because you must be joking. Not my Jazz, our parent. That can't be. And she sat on the floor, crying, screaming. One of her siblings rushed to her side to try and calm her down. Kelly cried continuously. They had to call her doctor so that they can put her to sleep. After the burial of her husband, and parent, everything changed. Oh my God. Kelly was emotionally unstable. She was losing it. She couldn't concentrate at work. The love she had for Kelly, her husband, was so much. She couldn't bear the pain of not having him around, which cost her her job. She made a terrible mistake on one of her shifts at the hospital, which cost her a lot. She used up all her savings and what Jazz had in his account to settle the family of the patient. After the incident, the hospital had to let her go, even though she used to be their best doctor. Kelly was broken and almost going mad. She would sometimes call out to Jazz to help her out to do some things, and she would realize he's not there to give her a helping hand. This made her become very depressed. Most nights she cried herself to sleep. The day she gave birth to her third child, she cried so much that she refused to breastfeed her baby because he looked so much like Jazz. She was discharged 2 days later, and she knew she could not run away from her son. It took her years before she could accept the fact that Jazz was no more. She was depressed for 3 years. She summoned up courage to ask for help. With the help of her siblings, she became mommy and daddy to her children. She made sure her kids get the best in life. One night, the youngest of her children was running temperature. She did all that she knows, but the temperature did not subside. She had to rush him to the hospital around 1 a.m. and she was so sad and miserable driving to the hospital. She said to herself, God, how I wish Jazz was here with me. Please, God, I don't want to lose my child. She prayed silently and went to check on the other kids at the reception. The two girls were sleeping peacefully. Jasmine, the first daughter, and Tessie, the second daughter. As she turned to leave, Jasmine opened her eyes and said, Mom, is Jerry going to be all right? Kelly replied to her, Yes, my angel. I'm waiting for the doctor. Jasmine looked at her mom. Can I see my little brother? Kelly replied to her, Not yet. Just go back to sleep. I will let you know when you can see him. Jasmine replied, Okay, mommy. Kelly kissed her on her forehead and went back to the emergency room to see how Jerry was doing. By the time she got there, the result was out and the doctor asked her to come to his office. The doctor in charge of Jerry's case is Dr. Dave. He walked up to her and said, Please, madam, can I see you in my office? Kelly replied, Okay, after you. Dr. Dave to Kelly, he has a serious infection, so we need to keep him here for further investigation. Kelly asked, What type of infection? I'm also a doctor, though I have not practiced in a while, but I can still help. Dr. Dave replied, It's a blood infection. Kelly screamed, Jesus, Jesus, I'm in trouble. What can we do? How can we save my son? I don't want to lose him. She started suggesting different things, and she asked if they could do a CT scan. Dr. Dave said, yes, but we want him to be stable. Kelly said, I understand. By the time she checked her time, it was already 6 a.m. She called her siblings to come to the hospital so they can pick up the girls. By 7 a.m., they arrived. She handed the kids to them to go search for the doctor. She found the doctor and she said, good morning, Dr. Dave. Can we do the CT scan now? Dr. Dave replied, yes, of course. Was on my way to see you. Jerry was wheeled to the CT scan room. And by the time they were done, Dr. Dave called out to Kelly and said, what I see here is not good. I think it has affected one of his kidney and we need to operate immediately. Kelly began to cry. She kept on crying and Dr. Dave had to tell her, please, mother, you need to put yourself together. This is not the time for you to cry. It is time for us to move ahead. Kelly pulled herself together and asked, what was his PCV? Dr. Dave said, his PCV is okay, but we need to get blood on ground in case the blood level drops. Kelly said, hope you have enough blood in your blood bank. His blood type. When can we do the surgery? Dr. Dave replied, hopefully by tomorrow morning. I already sent a message to the surgeon to join us this afternoon. Kelly was happy. She said, thank you very much. Let me start making arrangements for the money for the surgery before he gets here. She later found out that the surgery will cost $5 million. She only has $2 million in her account. She put calls to some of her friends and family to see if they can help her raise the remaining money, but they could only raise $2 million. So she had to sell her jewelry to complete the money. The next day was the surgery, which was the longest day of Kelly's life. She stayed awake and prayed all night. She tried to sleep, but she could not. Her siblings were around to give her support. By 10 a.m. the next morning, Jerry was wheeled to the operating room. Kelly was singing different worship songs, praising God and praying. God was faithful. God came through for her. The operation was a success. Jerry was discharged after 3 weeks to come back for check-up. The next Sunday, Kelly and her family went to give testimony how God saved Jerry's life. Kelly started a little business with the money that was left from the sale of her jewelry. She withdrew the kids from the school they were attending because she couldn't meet up with the school fees, but made sure she got them a cheaper and good school. She worked very hard and her business began to flourish. And she had other branches which made her to be financially comfortable. She changed the children's school back to the standard she wanted. Jerry got a scholarship to study in any choice of his school. She was a great mom to her kids, and people around her applaud her for it. Kelly found love again in Jeff 10 years after her husband's death. Jeff was a great husband and father to the kids. Jasmine and Tess graduated with good grades and got a good job. Jerry decided that he was going to be a pilot like his father. The kids planned a surprise 50th birthday for their mom to appreciate her effort over them. They all spoke about their mom, and Kelly's eyes were filled with tears of joy. Kelly was happy and proud of her children. Wow, what a life. That's the end of the story. I hope someone is blessed from it. I guess someone is going through a lot out there. I wrote this for all the single mom who are going through one challenges or the other. I believe there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Love can still find you. Just hang in there for yourself and kids. It will end in praise. To be honest, some single mom didn't choose to become one, but life put them there. Let's show them love because they really need it. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I'll see you guys next week with another beautiful story. God bless and remain blessed. I remain Omolade, aka Milado Life. Love you guys. Bye.